Hi, I'm Corina Angela, and thank you so much for listening today. I wanted to read you entry 34, and the entry is called Key to Life. This is from my book, Transference, that I wrote with Edgar Cayce and Gladys Davis Turner. Transference. Discover your soul self. It's a reference manual to connect to your soul self and discover your soul self. So there's 28 exercises in the book for you to go through and really to be activated by. They're all activations. They stem from how to raise your vibration, how to clear your energy, how to heal your body, the list goes on and on. They're really fun, amazing exercises, and um, I hope you enjoy today's reading. All right. So I wrote this back in 2019 and just published at the end of 23. So I'm happy to share this reading with you today. Okay. All right. So Key to Life. This was written on 6/5/2019, and the time start was 6:15 a.m. and the time end was 7:38 a.m. Right? Key to life: to structure one's own power, one must solidify their truth. Corina Angela. It's a quote from myself that came through on on that morning when I was automatically writing this book with Edgar Cayce and Gladys Davis Turner. So I'll just continue to read. When I woke up this morning, my dominant thoughts were, why are we here? And why am I doing, and what am I doing here anyways? I suddenly felt overwhelmed and I began to delve into my feelings as I wrote in my personal journal. I wrote in large letters, what is the key to life? What a great question to ask Edgar and Gladys this morning, I thought to myself. So I had my main question ready to ask in today's meeting. I took a few deep breaths, feeling centered and grounded, then closed my eyes to connect with Edgar and Gladys. So my process, I'll do a little bit of toggling back and forth as well, just to kind of give you a glimpse of my process. I'm an automatic writer, have been for many, many years since I was 7. And so I had two notebooks. I had a personal notebook that I was filtering in all of my thoughts, all of my questions, all of my own personal processes throughout this entire process with Edgar and Gladys. And then I had my other notebook that has all of these writings, all these automatic channeling sessions, whatever you want to call them, all my meetings with Edgar and Gladys. And nothing was to be edited. Any information that came through from Edgar and Gladys, and the only edits were to be with my own personal process. So, kind of just gives you a snapshot of um, how this book was created. And if you've listened to any of my past um, videos, and I hope you have, um, you'll understand and be clear on this process. So, and please subscribe to my channel because it's so exciting. So I'm posting more and more as we go. So look for new videos. Okay. So Q&A. So key to life. I went ahead and put in my personal process how I was feeling, what I was going through on any given day, explaining my doubts, my fears, what I was going through, what transformations were occurring in my life. So there's a snapshot of that first, and then I go into Q&A. So questions for Edgar that would pop up and Gladys, and we would have this back and forth dialogue. That's all verbatim in my book. So Q&A. CA, Corina Angela, what is the key to life? EC, Edgar Cayce, loving the soul. This is where it happens. CA, so how do we do this? So now I'm wanting Edgar to go in deeper with my next question of, how do we do this? What? you know, I'm always, I'm very inquisitive and want to understand on a deeper level. Um, I have an insatiable curiosity of when I'm in dialogue, when I'm connecting in with Edgar and Gladys, I want to know deeply. I want to understand deeply so I can share it with other people so they can understand. And it's like almost a snapshot, but then it's a broad overview. So I'm simplifying it for the reader, really trying to hone into the core um, for a better understanding of why we're here. EC, evolving oneself to be compliant to your own connection. So he's saying, evolving oneself so you can connect into your soul, so you can connect into your essence. CA, so connecting to yourself, your core being, question mark. EC, yes. CA, this is what this whole book is about, right? So now I'm questioning. I'm like, okay, so we're getting into the core of, this is more than halfway throughout this book. Um, and so we're really, is this the whole core of the book? I'm really wanting to understand it because every day was new. Every day was different. I had no idea. Um, there was a timeline with time, but there was no, reference point of what I was going to experience on any given day. So it was this beautiful, like going into a candy store and not, you know, going into a candy store and you have tons and tons of candy and they're all new pieces every day. So it's like these beautiful gems, these beautiful jewels of, it's like a treasure hunt, um, if that makes sense. So, EC. There are numerous ways in which one can facilitate to connect to all that there is. Yes, there are various different key steps, key components here to take in order to do this for the evolution of one's own soul. So what Edgar is saying, there's numerous different ways, and we're going to explore them here in this book, and we have all the while. So it's a matter of, going in deeper to know thyself. And there's so many key steps that we can cover. CA, thank you so much for this opportunity to connect with you and Gladys. This truly is a process of a lifetime. While I was looking at Edgar, he gave me a half smile. And then I felt this wave of energy move towards me. It felt like this was only the beginning of translating and channel writing, automatic writing, this first book for them. And perhaps it was. My thoughts quickly raced through all these case scenarios, and more questions came pouring into my energy about where all of this was going. More questions flooded my mind. It felt like a freight train speeding off the tracks. What about this current book, the next book, the timeline, all the questions? My head began to throb Edgar quickly interjected. So the minute when I'm connected in their field, our field, the minute my energy shifts, he interjects immediately. He either will help me shift my energy if a doubt came in my mind, or, a fearful, piece of me would pop up, or anxiety, or any of those things. He would quickly come in and interject and help me shift the energy, if not shift the energy field itself. EC, that is it for now. So what had happened, he came in and quickly interjected a different energy so I could best understand. Because I found in this process throughout this book, the minute my doubts would come in, or I would become heavy with, heady thoughts, too much thought, I would be taken down into my heart and connecting into my heart on a deeper level. The energy would shift immediately. In the beginning, it was, a little more time to acclimate to the energy and acclimate to this work. But like I said before, it's more than halfway through this book, so now I'm really understanding what this process is becoming. Then Edgar and Gladys were gone. It seems as though when I shift into the slightest of ego thoughts, in this case, the freight train of ego thoughts, there is an intentional shift of energy in our space. I'm learning that Edgar will divert my attention immediately if there is a slight hint of ego or off energy in our field, and Edgar and Gladys will depart quickly. So that's what they would do. The energy would shift, and either we'd go through a process and exercise, or they would disappear. They would shift out, and I was left to shift and understand what had just transpired. And then I would be referencing my notebook, as I'm still connected in with her energy, but I'm writing down the process of my own personal process of what I was going through. And this is all, for the reader, of how we can shift our energy quickly. How do we do that? And so this whole book it's a step-by-step process of how to raise your energy, how to let go of things that no longer serve you, how to let go of anxiety if you're riddled with fear, all of those things. They these exercises help you in all of those areas to help you with your life and what you're going through. Okay, so let's see. Yeah. I know this is for me to recognize and to become very cognizant of when and where my ego comes in, and how to quickly release it. Based on today's experience, I feel that I have been creating on my own time out, a time to reflect, and perhaps I have. So I basically put myself on a timeout, like, okay, it's reflecting time, I'm gonna check out and go back in and see what just transpired. So I quickly thanked Edgar and Gladys, and my energy shifted once again. All the questions I was thinking only moments ago suddenly felt irrelevant, and they simply disappeared. I felt this wave of absolute love come in and surround me. I heard, perhaps the key to life is being in the present moment, moment to moment, second to second, without a past, without a future, in the present, 100% in your love, being your love, being in your core, being in your soul core presence. So I'm reflecting, perhaps that is the key to life. I began to transcend back into my body, taking in a few deep breaths and exhaling out. I grabbed my personal journal and I began to quickly write down what I had just heard. I had so many questions I wanted to write about and contemplate. Questions like, how can I better release my ego? How can I better release all questions that arise in my mind? How can I stay on my own track and not get easily derailed? Many other questions seemed to simply vanish. They were just not there anymore. They seemed to have disappeared as if they were completely irrelevant at this time. I had thoughts that were streaming in, past memories, past reflections, and events or relationships that seemed as though they were light years away. Maybe I had just jumped a timeline or experienced a quantum leap. My past seemed suddenly to have no power over me. My past was just my past. It does not define me, and it has no hold over me. I like that my past has slipped into another lifetime. It feels like that. Maybe I had just experienced my key to life without a past, without a future, but being here in the present time, moment to moment, right here and right now. So I'm really deep diving into what just occurred and how can this help you? You know, when we don't let our past or our future define us and we're in the present moment, that's all we have. Perhaps that is the key to life. Perhaps that's your key to life, to really remain in the here and the now and enjoying the moment to moment, how severe it is, how happy it is, how devastating it is, how incredibly loving it is, moment to moment, really submerging ourselves into that. Maybe I'm embodying my core love, my core truth. Maybe I can now share and be in love with everyone and everything that comes into my life. Maybe moment to moment and second to second are already in my past. Perhaps my past is my past, and that is it. I took a deep breath in and slowly exhaled. Wow, what a revelation of deep exploration of the self. I continued to channel writing my work this morning down in my notebook, and this energy activation exercise is what came through. So after I'm done reflecting and really deep diving in, then the exercises would come in from Gladys and Edgar, and we would actually go through the exercise together, or I would just get these snapshots of these specific exercises that they would show me through pictures or um, take me on an adventure or yeah, a variety of ways, numerous different ways. And this one, exercise 15, energy activation, I want to share with you here and now. I think this is how we can begin to raise our vibration, how we can energize ourselves when we need more energy, when we are feeling really low, feeling that we don't have any energy, feeling like we want to ascend and we don't know how. Um, this is a wonderful exercise to try and incorporate into your life. So I'll just read it with you now. Okay, so exercise 15, energy activation. Here's a brief summary and a description of the energy activation exercise. The energy activation exercise is great to do with a partner who is willing and able to participate with you. So this is, you can choose a partner or not. You can, do these exercises with yourself as well. Some are more geared towards a partner meaning a friend, a spouse, or whomever um, you would like to experience this exercise with. Okay? So choose who will go first, partner A or partner B. Find a quiet space to lie down. You can use a massage table or the floor works as well. Okay, so you can do a massage table, floor, whatever is most comfortable. Okay. Step one: begin with a few deep breaths. Inhale and exhale, relaxing your entire body. Close your eyes and feel your breath flow in and out. Partner A will lie down first on the massage table or on the floor. Partner B will be standing 2 feet behind partner A's head, facing the same direction. Step 2. Partner A and partner B will each ask out loud, one at a time, to receive their highest energy for their highest good right now. Step 3. Partners A and B will trust that they've been heard and simply feel and receive their highest energy exchange with their eyes closed. Take a few deep breaths, inhaling and exhaling slowly. Now switch partners A and B and repeat the above step. You can do this exercise up to 5 minutes for each partner. When you both are complete, feel free to share with your partner what you received from this exercise. Here are some suggestions and some suggested questions that you and your partner can ask one another. Feel free to add questions of your own. So here's some suggestions of the questions. What was your experience? How do you feel? Do you feel more energy within your entire body? You can share your experience with your partner or write your experience down in your journal. When practicing this energy activation exercise, you can optimize the balance of your heart, mind, and body and connect to your soul, creating a fun way to receive more clarity and energy into your life right here and right now. So, with this exercise, it's a really fun exercise, but also, so the two partners, and again, you can do this by yourself, but it's more geared towards having a partner. So you're asking out loud one at a time to receive their highest energy for their highest good right now. So that energy is prompting you, right? It's in your energy field. So, if I was partner A and B is on the massage table or on the floor, I'm standing 2 feet behind your head. So I'm projecting that energy out into the field, and your body will register this, right? So your partner's body will pick up on the energy. So if I'm thinking an amazing memory, or just even feeling the vibration of being incredibly in love or happy, or the happiest event of my life, I'm permeating that into my field, and we're sharing the same field, so your body automatically is activated and will feel that and start resonating with your body. And as you ask out loud one at a time, you're building up both of your fields at the same time. So when you're sharing, the highest energy for your highest good right now, that's your focal point that both of you are working on. Okay. So, people in the past that have created this space for one another and went through these exercise, this particular exercise. I'll just share some feedback of what I ascertained, and also I'll interject some of my experiences doing this exercise. I've done all these exercises within the book. So, asking the questions, how am I feeling in my body? So, this is another core connection with your soul. When we're raising our vibration, we're really asking the question, yeah, how am I feeling? Do I feel tingly? Do I feel, like I'm vibrating? Is one amazing thought going to another amazing thought, right? So, am I feeling really energized? Am I feeling more energized? What am I feeling within my body? What are my thoughts right now? What am I thinking? Am I thinking really amazing thoughts, right? So, that's the bridge that you're creating between the both of you when you're doing this exercise. Um, a lot of people have experienced, just feeling elated and just, this incredible deep sense of love, of trust, of honor. You're sharing that space with someone else. You're creating that amazing field of energy and you're raising both of your vibrations at the same time and it will sustain itself. So if you spend 5 minutes each, up to 5 minutes each, you know, creating this field, it will last all day. When you end the exercise, you'll just be buzzing. So, I've witnessed that, I've experienced it, and it's just really fun. But also, too, you could do this exercise on a daily basis. You can do this exercise for just yourself. You can lay down on the couch, on the floor, wherever, on your bed, wherever you're comfortable, and do this. And out loud, you can speak, the highest energy that you can come up with, right? And you can feel it within your body. And then whatever sensations that arise within your body and in your field, you can write it down in your notebook or in your journal and keep track of it. A lot of people see colors, spirit animals come in, guides come in to help you. I mean, there's such a vast array of what can transpire through this one simple exercise that can indeed raise your vibration. All right. So I just wanted to share that today. I'm Corina Angela, and I hope you find this was helpful. Please subscribe to my channel. I would love it. And yeah, stay tuned for more. It's really exciting. And if you haven't bought my book, please do so. It's called Transference, Connect to Your Soul Self. And I wrote it with Edgar Cayce and Gladys Davis Turner. And thank you. Thank you for your support. Really appreciate it. Thank you.